Imagine gazing into space and realizing how small and fragile our planet truly is. The vastness of the universe contrasts with the thin layer protecting our atmosphere, reminding us that Earth's resources are limited and finite. This is the context we find ourselves in today, facing global food crises, intense climate change, and an urgent need to think differently. As science and technology advance, an intriguing idea emerges. What if the solutions to our greatest agricultural challenges lie beyond the sky? This may sound like science fiction, but it is a reality in the making. As we face a global food crisis and climate change, the answer to the future of agriculture might lie in space. This statement, which might have sounded exaggerated years ago, the question that has guided NASA's top scientists is simple but powerful. How can we feed astronauts millions of miles away and, at the same time, bring those solutions to transform the way we grow food on Earth? But before we dive into the answers, we need to understand the problem that brought us here. We live in a world where the number of mouths to feed grows faster than our capacity to produce food. With the global population projected to reach 10 billion by 2050, the pressure on our agricultural systems is impossible to ignore. Add to that the devastating effects of climate change, such as droughts, floods, and depleted soils, and we face a scenario of utmost urgency. Conventional methods, no matter how advanced, are struggling to keep up with demand. This raises a critical question: how much longer can we produce enough food for everyone? The situation on Earth mirrors the conditions astronauts face in space. Consider this: living in an environment where every resource is limited, where water, nutrients, and even oxygen must be recycled to the maximum. Sound familiar? Just as space missions demand extreme solutions to ensure survival, our planet is beginning to operate under the same constraints. Science and technology once again become our allies, bringing space into the picture as a laboratory to reshape agricultural practices and perhaps redefine what is possible in food cultivation. When we think of innovation, space has always been a laboratory where the impossible becomes possible. It was there that freeze-drying transformed the way we preserve food, ensuring its longevity without losing nutritional value. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. Hydroponic farming, a technique widely used in urban greenhouses, was perfected in space environments to grow fresh food under extreme conditions. Imagine adapting these technologies here on Earth, in dense urban areas or even deserts, where resource scarcity limits traditional farming. An incredible example is NASA's veggie system, which enabled astronauts to grow lettuce and other plants in microgravity. This same approach is inspiring vertical farming, a practice that uses city buildings to grow food in layers, saving space and resources. Isn't it fascinating to think that astronauts' salads are shaping the urban supermarkets of the future? These solutions, initially designed to ensure survival in space, are now fighting hunger right here, within our reach. But how are these ideas applied on a large scale? To answer that, we need to look at real stories of transformation. Imagine creating protein from air. It sounds like magic, but it's pure science. That's the case with Solian, a revolutionary invention that transforms carbon dioxide and renewable energy into a highly sustainable protein source. Developed by scientists in Finland, this technology not only promises to feed astronauts on long missions, but can also be used in regions of Earth where resources are scarce. It's no wonder Solian is seen as a game changer, a living example of how space technology can terraform even the most challenging realities into viable solutions. Another powerful example comes from farmers adopting hydrogels to grow crops in arid regions. Hydrogels are compounds that capture moisture from the air and release it slowly into the soil, enabling cultivation even in deserts. A farmer in the Middle East reported that, thanks to this technology, he managed to triple his vegetable production despite scorching temperatures. These stories show us that space solutions are not just futuristic concepts. They are already impacting lives and transforming communities around the globe. But what's the next step in this evolution? Let's look toward the future and explore how these technologies can shape our destiny on Mars and beyond. When we think about the future of agriculture, Mars emerges as a fascinating and challenging scenario. Long-duration missions won't have frequent resupply options, so creating self-sustaining food systems will be a necessity, not a choice. Technologies such as hydroponic farming and closed-loop systems, which recycle nutrients and water, will be crucial for terraforming the Martian environment and making it habitable. These same innovations can be applied on Earth in areas devastated by desertification or water scarcity. It's as if every step we take toward the stars prepares us to solve the most complex problems on our own planet. Now, imagine a world where all communities, even the most isolated, can grow their own food with minimal resources. This vision is closer than it seems, thanks to the lessons learned from space. Projects like the Veggie System and Solian are not just experiments but bridges between the challenges of living in the cosmos and the reality of ensuring global food security. The technologies created to sustain astronauts on Mars are paving the way for a future where no one needs to go hungry, neither here nor there. And this is just the tip of the iceberg of possibilities these innovations promise. But how can we prepare to make the most of this revolution? From soil to space, agriculture is reinventing itself to ensure human survival in increasingly extreme scenarios. What we learn from space goes beyond exploration. It's about creating practical solutions that can change lives here on Earth. Imagine a world where food can be grown anywhere, whether in an overcrowded city or an arid desert. This food revolution has already begun, and space is the laboratory teaching us to think differently, using science and technology to turn challenges into opportunities. Now it's your turn. What do you think of these innovations? Which one do you believe could make the biggest difference in the future of food? Share your ideas and reflections in the comments, because the discussion starts here. And of course, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to keep learning about topics that can shape humanity's future. After all, the greatest changes begin with a single step, and yours can start today.